Hi guys, long time no see. Today I'll be working with this golden compact mirror I picked up from Hong Kong. It opens just like any regular compact, but has a nice surface for me to work with, so yeah, let's get started. I began using a resin mold and poured UV resin into different areas. As you can see, I experimented with 4 different colors that could potentially get me a pink that I maybe wanted. And I dropped white to have a base ready to make it more opaque. And then I dropped the color beside it because I'm quite scared and I'm honestly very traumatized from accidentally dropping too much color into the mixture. To be honest, in this clip, the mixture was low-key a little too dark for me because I was looking for more of a pastel look. So imagine if I just put a whole drop on there, it would be so terrible and it would waste probably a lot of my resin. After mixing off the colors, I decided that none of the colors truly spoke to me, so I decided to just mix 2 of the colors. I decided to narrow it down to pink and purplish red, but if they were alone, pink was a little too bright and vibrant, and purplish red was just a little too dim, so I mixed them together. I poured everything on top of the compact and spread it out into an even layer. And then after that, I put that under the UV light for about a minute and 30 seconds. The worst thing that can really happen to you is working on a semi-cured layer and the bottom is just straight up liquid, so it is always safer to cure it longer than needed. So now here are some old jewelry that I found in my closet. It was collecting dust and I was like, what a perfect way to utilize all of this. So the first design, I was really into it. I like the pearls, I like the moons, but I was like, let's experiment with the jewels a little bit. So I added them, but the colors weren't it. So I went to the third one, and I love it. I love the bows, but I don't like the position of the moon. So I finally narrowed it down to this 4th one, which is pretty nice in my opinion. So right over here, I just started positioning everything and using resin to act as like a glue between the surface and the object. And to be honest, I think the trickiest part was picking up the jewels using tweezers because it was just really slippery. So right at the end, you can probably see me struggling with a jewel or 2. I just had to resort to my hands at the end. So I'm gonna do a small breakdown of where I got my materials. The bow I picked up from a bead shop, and then the pendant, they're all from jewelry that is just around my house, and then the small little golden pendants, they're from Daiso. They sell it in mini packs, and the gemstones, they're from a sticker sheet along with the pearls too, and it's really nice to just see what you have and then create an art piece with it. Right over here, I was like, oh my gosh, this piece, it's so pretty, but it's missing some snaz. So then I was like, you know what? I'll add some texture to it. So I used these crystals I found in Daiso and mixed them with resin, and then I put it under the moon to see how it looks, but then I was like, let's add some glitter. So I took a really old highlighter pack, and I was like, let's mix it with resin and then with the crystals too. And I layered the entire surface with it so it would look a little bit more textured and it looks like a frosted look. Right over here, I used a Q-tip with some rubbing alcohol to clean it up. There was some UV resin and some iridescent glitter on the side, so I just used it to wipe it away. And then here is me just giving it a last cure before moving on to the little dangling things. Here I have some globes that I picked up from Daiso again, and then I filled it with the same crystals that I used. Man, it took a long time. I'm finally adding the jewels. It's the same jewel that I used for the compact, and now it has all of the stuff that I wanted in there, and the last step is to just glue on the top piece and connect it with a really nice pearl and loop it through. I started out with a chain, but it was a little too thick, so I just used a piece of wire and then I shaped it into a triangle. and then I looped it with a jump ring, and it took me a while to get it, but here's the finished product. I really enjoyed this project. It's probably one of my favorite works ever. It's very dreamy, and it's like something owned by a princess. It literally looks like it, and I love the gold and the pink. And then when you open it, I just love how it has something dangling off of it. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you guys would like to see more in the future, please like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for watching. Bye bye. See you on the next one.